Welcome to the 50 Forgotten Cardinals Companion Podcast, where you learn about every player from Icebox Chamberlain to Aledmus Diaz and everyone in between. Your hosts are me, Will Saulsbery, author of 50 Forgotten Cardinals, and my good friend, Mr. Wesley Wingate, Cardinals fan, musician extraordinaire. So come along with us on this journey for 50 Forgotten Cardinals.
Welcome to 50 Forgotten Cardinals, a companion podcast to the book 50 Forgotten Cardinals, which was published May 14th in beautiful St. Louis, Missouri. I am Will Saulsbery.
I'm Wes Wingate.
In Columbia, Missouri.
Yes.
Home of our Tigers. Thank you for doing this with me, Wes. I'm super stoked. This was an insanely fun project. And just tell the people the depth of your St. Louis Cardinals fandom.
Just as long as I can remember. I kind of remember the 82 series. I remember my mom going, "The Cardinals won." I remember that much at least. But yeah, my grandmother was a Knothole gang member of Sportsman's Park. I lived a couple blocks from it. It's lifelong fan. And I'm excited about your book too. This is something the world didn't know it needed.
Exactly. I know the soundtrack of both of our youths is the sound of Jack Buck, Mike Shannon.
Oh yeah.
Just
They raised me.
Oh, yeah. I know, right? But we are going way back. So we're going to do all 50 members of the book. We're going to start with the fellas who are no longer with us and work our way up to the present day and hopefully get some of those guys to come on to the show. I'm trying to get a hold of Felix, Jose, and Ozzie Canseco, but it's not easy. They're very good. So let's start with number one, Icebox Chamberlain. All right, so best name in the book, Icebox from Warsaw, New York. 5'9", 168 pounds, just wiry muscle. Played with the club from 88 to 90. That's 1888 to 1890. Put up some insane stats. The crown jewel. So in 1889, we're going to start with the numbers here. He put up a 9.2 WAR, went 32 and 15 with a 2.97 in 421.2 innings. That's like 3 Jacob deGrom seasons worth of innings, and he still had a 2.97. Just insane numbers. And you had some facts that aren't in the book that you were going to share.
Could you read your little quote about his nickname?
Well, he was the first in the line of a great kitchen appliance nicknames. There's William the Refrigerator Perry, Vinny the Microwave Johnson, and Icebox Chamberlain.
So I was going to come at you right out of the gate. The Icebox is not an appliance, Will. But no.
That's what my grandma.
It's hard here, but a little history on the Icebox. My grandmother that I mentioned already, she used to call the refrigerator an icebox because that's what it literally was when she was young. And they had wooden boxes that they would insulate with fur or whatever, and then they'd have a tin or a zinc pan in there, and you'd get your ice dropped off each day and literally keep the stuff below it, and it was literally an icebox and keep it cool. And Thomas More is the inventor of the icebox in 1802. He invited President Jefferson to witness this invention he had, and Jefferson maybe had a couple of them put in the White House. This was called an icebox up until the first electric. The first electric was 1913, but it wasn't until 27 that people had them in their homes. So, my grandmother grew up calling it an icebox. So, just a little fun fact there.
My grandma too. So, Icebox Chamberlain.
What a name.
He passed away, but there was an actual refrigerator when he passed away. He didn't die till 1929.
So he
might have had one in his house.
He might have.
So just insane. And this guy, all right. So you made an awesome point off air when we were chatting. So in the book, we talk about his time ends like so many players' time in a city ends. He asked for $800 more, a raise of $800. So he didn't get it. He spent the bulk of spring training in the pool rooms of Buffalo, New York. And then he was sold to Columbus, where he went 12-6 with a 2.21. And I just thought this was hilarious, but you actually did more scholarly work on this.
Yeah, I mean, that's right around when unions were forming all across America, where workers were standing up for their rights. And the Players League, becoming the Players Union we know now, started in 1889. So totally tracks that he would be disputing, the average salary was $285 at that time for a major league player. So he was asking for a large increase.
Yes.
But that was the average, this is an interesting thing, how times have changed. The average salary at $285 was the same as an average American worker's salary at that time.
Oh, okay.
That's how inflated the baseball salaries have become. Crazy to think about.
Just give me that.
Yeah, it makes sense that he was wanting more money. And it also makes sense the Cardinals didn't want to pay as they just won the pennant. So, what do we need you for, Icebox?
Yeah, that 1888 team, he was on an 1888 team. They went 92-43, finished first in the American Association. Their manager was Charlie Comiskey.
Yeah.
Not that. They played at the First Sportsman's Park, which is now the Boys and Girls Club. And then the 1889 team, they finished second, went 90-45-6. Somehow they tied. I don't know how that works. And then the 1890 team, his last year here, he wasn't here that long. They traded him. They ended up finishing third. That was probably part of it. But those early teams, they were called the Browns, the Perfectos, then finally the Cardinals, 1900. It's just crazy digging up these guys. And just first of all, you said, how many starters did a rotation have?
Whoa, when every guy's getting 50, you only need 3 starters because seasons were 154 then?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about in this era of pitch counts of 3 dudes all going to take the hump 50 times a year. That's nuts.
Yeah. In 1889, he threw 44 complete games.
That's crazy.
It's insane. Just like you need like 2 bullpen arms.
We'll never even see anybody that has that many in their career again. So that's crazy. That's a crazy stat.
1 or 2 a year.
Right, yeah.
So they have to play 20 years to get
that's crazy to think about.
Oh God, oh man. Where have you gone, the starting pitcher? Bob Gibson, rolling over in his grave thinking about this. But no, huge Icebox Chamberlain fan. He's the reason I started this book. The whole genesis of this idea was I saw this guy's name and I was like, there's no way this is a real human.
Just the name alone, yeah.
His given name is Elton P. Chamberlain, which is very austere. It would be
yes, he's a railroad baron.
I made my money in dry goods. When you can make a living like that in dry goods in the railroad.
It was a novel thing to make a living playing baseball at that time. So
wild, man. He wanted to raise, he got around, $800 to $1,000 a year, which is just crazy. You can't even get a telephone for that anymore.
Yeah.
The times have changed. So Icebox Chamberlain, we thank you for helping us kick off this podcast, being the #1 entry in the book. And if you want your own copy of 50 Forgotten Cardinals, just check in the show notes below this. There's a link. You can learn more about me, learn more about Wes, who may be, are you the best piano player in the state of Missouri, or at least in the top 5?
Not at all. Not at all.
You're the best piano player I personally know.
Maybe. You know Andrew Weir, though.
No, I don't. I know
okay.
you.
Well, then, yeah. All right, I'll take it.
Nice. All right. So I never met Rachmaninoff. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. Check in episode 2 coming up a little later. We're going to drop it and we go over old man Bob Carruthers, #2 in 50 Forgotten Cardinals. So until next time, I'm Will Saulsbery.
Wes Wingate.
You've been listening to and watching 50 Forgotten Cardinals.